What is up, everybody? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I'm going over the books that I had picked up recently over at Zapp Comics over in Wayne, New Jersey. They are my LCS. If you guys have never heard of Zapp or checked them out before, you certainly should. They're an amazing store over there, amazing group of people. I made sure to put their link in the description, so check them out if you haven't already. I know there's been a lot of craziness going on, at least for me. I haven't really been part of the channel in a while. I haven't been posting a lot of content, although I'm always posting stuff over on Instagram. It's just been a little bit busier more recently with everything going on. So, but everything is good here. I recently got married. For those who don't know or follow me or my personal stuff, recently got married, so a lot of that's been taking up my time as well. We've had a HersheyCon that just passed not too long ago. That was a blast. I'm getting ready for a Terrificon coming up here not too long from now as well. So a lot of stuff in the works, a lot of stuff for work that I've been busy traveling and things like that. So, but yeah, I wanted to carve out some time here to, just put some new content out on the channel. Hopefully I can get into a rhythm again and start to put more content out there. So hope everybody's doing well. Want to let you know I'm just checking in, making sure that you're good to go. I know I'm good. Everything is good here. So, but I want to get into the books. And again, these are books I got from Zapp Comics. So let's start out with, I got two different piles. We'll start with the DC stuff first and then go into the Marvel stuff from there. And a lot of it, actually, I think almost all of it was my dad's stuff. So first one that I got, I always, anytime I try to, pick up any of my dad's work that I see there, especially when it's as cheap as this was $2.50. So this is The Flash. This is issue number 63. This is from volume 2. If you guys don't know, my dad, Greg LaRoque, he had done the penciling for this and the cover for this particular one here. He also did this one here. This is issue number 24. Thought that was really cool, and I actually do not own this issue, so adding that to the collection is always nice. Then I got this is, let's see, issue number 30. That's a really cool cover as well. I don't know if he did the he did do the cover. Yep, this is him as well. Kind of on target there, right? Then we also have this one here. This is number 28. Did the cover for this and the interiors. And then also, so this book here, this is issue number 22. A lot of people have talked about how, Todd McFarlane had, swiped this cover, this from his, one of his early Spider-Man issues. I can't think of 316 with Venom on the cover with Spidey. While this is absolutely probably a swipe that McFarlane took, because this book came out much earlier, I found out recently that this cover is actually not my dad's artwork. He had clarified that with me while I was at HersheyCon last weekend, or 2 weeks ago now at this point. And I was actually there with my buddy Naman. He was hanging out as well. Naman and I were telling my dad about this story, and he's like, "Oh, it's really cool, but this is not my artwork." He's like, "I did not do the cover to this." So we were blown away, had no idea, because I know there's just been a lot of talk about that, and my dad getting credit for that, which, again, as he clarified, this was actually not his cover. He did do the interiors for this. But yeah, just a little side note. Technically, he did not do the cover of this issue. But either way, yeah, definitely a swipe for sure from, what Todd McFarlane took from this. So anyways, the other two books, these are some Michael Turner stuff. I always try to pick these up, especially Supergirl, if I can. So yeah, this is Michael Turner, rest in peace. Just a couple issues of his work there. Love Michael Turner's artwork. Always try to pick it up whenever I can. That was the DC stuff. Let me set this aside. The Marvel stuff, this is where it's a little bit more of a stack here. A couple of bigger books as well, bigger in size, I should clarify. So some of these were just cover buys. as an X-Men fan, I'm always trying to pick up the coolest covers that I see, ones I've never seen before. I don't know how I missed this one. This is one of the Marvel icon variants that had come out probably this year. This is issue number 11. Oh yeah, X-Men Red. This kid just came out this year. X-Men Red. You got Jubilee on the front cover. Can't remember the artist that did these, but I know there were a few others that were like this is too for icon variants. But anyways, wanted to have that in the collection. Let's see, I'll move this stuff over here. Excalibur, this is Kitty Pryde as Shadow Cat here, which I still haven't read anything where she went by the name Shadowcat, but I did know that that was a character name of hers, as she has gone through many. So this is issue number 32 from Excalibur, a series that I have not read yet, and I do plan to eventually read it, because I do want to check out the early, the original Excalibur run. So there was that. That was $1.50. Couldn't pass that up. I am starting to get into these. It's really a bad it's really not a good rabbit hole to go down, but I'm starting to get into these toy covers, these action figure covers. So this one here, I've seen the actual toy for this, and I've always pass it up. I do appreciate the artwork that's always on the side, and for a couple dollars, Jean Grey, why not? So that's wanted to pick that up as well. This is just a really cool variant from the Brood. I've been on a Brood kick, with Omni X-Men and everything, and just reading, the classic stuff while also reading the current Captain Marvel stuff, and they just went through that whole, Brood return. So just thought that was a really cool cover. Wanted to get that one. This is from the classic X-Men stuff, the Dark Phoenix saga. I never pass these up anytime I see them, especially you're usually $1 or $2. This is $2 here, $2.50. Love that cover. A classic storyline, one of my absolute favorites, so I will always pick these up whenever I see them. So I went with that. Really surprised and excited to find this book. I think I own maybe 1 or 2 copies, and it was a really long time for me to even find this. This is Astonishing X-Men issue number 4. This is the first appearance of Armor, the mutant named Armor. So I had started really reading more into her, the character, when I was introduced to her from the current New Mutant stuff that's been coming out ever since Hickman had kind of relaunched everything. So I was more and more curious about who Armor was, and so this is where it all started. And that's where, as I did some research, found out that was her first appearance. Would love to know more about Armor just in general. I find her abilities are really cool. And anyways, this was just $2. So which I feel, you should be able to find this for like $2. But some people mark it up to like 10, 15, whatever. So, anytime I can find this for, cheap like this, I will absolutely grab it. My man Carlos Gomez, he just killed it with this Nightcrawler issue. I don't know how I missed this variant, but actually, is this a variant? Yes, it is. From issue close, the B cover here. But how cool is that? Carlos Gomez, really great guy, really awesome artist. Love his work. He's currently doing the Rogue and Gambit stuff, the interiors for that, and he's also just a really friendly guy. I've talked to him via Instagram plenty of times. Really humble. So yeah, awesome Nightcrawler work from him. This is bringing it to the Powers of X stuff. This is issue 5 of 6. One of the cool covers that I got from David Nakayama. This is a and B, what do you call that? Like connecting variant. I don't think I ever got the Storm side of it. So I don't remember seeing this side of the cover. So I'm glad to get the secondary set for this connector. I gotta go back and see if I can find the 2 of them so I can take a picture together. The other ones, sticking on the theme with like Hickman and everything else that they've done, anytime I find these issues, I buy them, especially when they're $2 and $3. This is issue number 18 and 19 from Hickman's run. These are the Vault issues. If you guys have never read the Vault issues, I'll just leave it at that as in terms of the title, the Vault issues. I highly recommend that you check these out. Really epic story. And the cool thing also is, not only did they come out with these 2, but there are recent issues from the current X-Men run that they kind of touch on more detail with where these have left off. So these are 2 books that I wish and hope that one day they even hash out even more, because there's a lot of story in these 2 particular issues. So if you get a chance, check those out. Laura Kinney, definitely a highlight, along with Sync. That you'll learn. So I pick those issues up anytime I get them as well, because they're just fantastic reads. This is $2.79. So from the X-Men stuff, I decided to collect all the way through $2.79 of what Claremont has worked on, and so this, I believe, was his final issue that he worked on from the main volume 1 of X-Men. So I wanted to pick that up, and I'll continue to pick up others that are prior to this that I don't own, which is a good amount, because I've only really collected 94 through 143, if you guys have been following me for over the past year or so, or a couple years, I should say. And then more recently, just started collecting the stuff that's come after that. As I've been breaking it down with John from John's Comics with Kids on Omni X-Men, I've just decided I'm just gonna, now that I've got all the John Byrne stuff, the Dave Cockrum stuff, I want to just keep going there and buying the rest all the way through 279. So anything that, again, Claremont has worked on from the main run. While I was also there, I saw this awesome Jim Lee cover, 277. I think I may have a copy of this, but man, I just couldn't pass it up. It's a great book to have, and if I do have a second copy, that is okay with me, because that's a beauty. And then what else was I gonna say? That's a different one. This one too, again, just on the Brood kick. I actually own a copy of this too. This is 234. But what a amazing Brood / Wolverine cover. Really just I've really started to enjoy learning more about the Brood. Never knew about them until I started reading them. I've always seen like these covers and other Brood covers and always heard about them, but I really enjoyed this era. And so I haven't read this particular set yet. We haven't got here. It was 234, so probably another couple of years before John and I get to it in order from what we've been reading for Omni X-Men. But either way, I wanted to pick this up, and I might have to read ahead just to read some of these issues, because man, it looks really epic. And anything with the Brood, I'm in, especially with Wolverine, I'm in. Speaking of Wolverine, here's 276. I just a Jim Lee cover that I do not own, and again, just some other stuff that's right prior to Claremont leaving, so figured I'd pick that up as well. Nice condition, bright white cover. And then same thing, 273. This is also Jim Lee. I probably should just, be collecting all this stuff for the fact that it's Jim Lee anyways. So, but yeah, really cool there. Can't wait to kind of just open up some of those. It's, like I said, it's probably gonna be a while before I get that far ahead. Might have to do some, reading ahead just to check some of those out. This book I just picked up. It's a really cool Lorna Dane cover. I thought the artwork was really awesome. She looks beautiful there. It is Salvador in Liquid. I've seen Liquid's signature. Don't know the artist that well, but yeah, beautiful cover. X-Men 162, we had broke this down earlier on Omni X-Men earlier this year, and it's got to be one of my favorite issues from the Omnibus, Volume 3, that we had just talked about. So if you guys have never read this issue before, I read it for the first time, just a few months ago, and I absolutely loved it. It goes so well with, like, the whole vibe of the storytelling ways that we get from, like, Frank Miller and the Wolverine miniseries, things like that. This was technically right before it, but and Frank Miller's not part of this, but just the way that Claremont had told the story was really different, and it was a different angle of learning more about Wolverine and getting into his head, like literally getting into his thought process and how he looked at at the world and at these villains, the Brood, and everything else. And this also really kicks off a lot of that too. So just a really great read, one of my favorites, and also some really cool artwork as well. And that was only $2. I'm always going to buy that, especially for $2. Let's see, a couple other ones here. So anytime I see the Marvel Age stuff, I try to get if there anything with X-Men on them. So this is the summer swimsuit edition there. We got Storm and everybody hanging out on the beach. So yeah, definitely want to pick that one up. And also got issue number 63. This was $2, and that's got the whole team there. Nice bright pink background, and the colors really pop. So let's see, artist is PH or RH, not sure, but either way, yeah, just wanted to add that to the collection. Again, $2, definitely gonna buy it. This was just a really dope, got my attention because Colossus is pulling a tree out of its roots. Anytime that I see that happening, I am immediately interested. And then, of course, Black Panther on top of that. And then, of course, on top of that, I noticed that it was actually artwork by Gene Colan, who's one of my absolute favorites. So, yeah, all the reasons to be buying this book right here. And again, this was only $1.50. I don't own it, so now I own it, and I'm very happy for it. So happy to check that out as well. That's Marvel Comics Presents Colossus. And then these last two here are just books that I really enjoyed these from the series. Actually, I have two other books too. This is from Eternals, the most recent run that had come out. This is Eternals 5 and 7. Yeah. And this is Kieran Gillen, Esad Ribic. Esad is just, I love his work, man. I just absolutely love it. There's some of the close-ups here. And this series was, I loved the heck out of it. I know some people were kind of off with it. It leads up to Judgment Day and everything else that had come out, prior. And it was just a 12-issue kind of mini-series. But the way it lined up with everything else, I thought it was fantastic. I love what Kieran Gillen did with the characters, and I was very new to Eternal, so I don't think you necessarily need to know too many details in order to get into this. Again, 12 issues altogether, and it ties into the current X-Men and some of the current Avengers stuff. So if you're reading or dabbling in any of that stuff, I think this is well worth it. And then, of course, Esad Ribic on the artwork. I got Esad Ribic. There's my Storm painting that I got there. Yeah, all that stuff. I got that last year at Terrificon. Huge fan. Really nice guy, too. Anyways, so I always pick up those if I get a chance, because I think I missed the initial boat when Eternals was coming out. So I had to kind of backtrack still. Last two books that I want to show. I mentioned these are big books. These are literally big books, as I don't normally buy the magazine size, but I've finally bit the bullet. I have a couple of the graphic novel size ones from some of the new stuff, but I don't really go back and buy any of the old stuff, and mainly because of the storage, not wanting to get down that rabbit hole because of where am I going to put it, all that stuff, and I'm still going to have to figure out where I'm going to put these, but I bit the bullet and I bought them because I found this one. It was $5. It's Bizarre Adventures, issue number 27, and I'm attached to this because John and I had broke this down on Omni X-Men last season. It was one of the final issues in the omnibus from volume 2, and while it is wild and wacky and silly, some of it I did enjoy some of it as well, and it's just part of my fandom and being more and more into the X-Men as a whole. So I appreciate it for what it is. I think it's well worth owning and reading if you guys haven't read it before. I believe it's all black and white on the interiors. I always wanted to just have a copy, even though I have it in my omnibus. So here it is for $5, especially a nice copy that I can read from time to time. I'll have to take some pictures of the interiors and stuff, but man, I'm really happy to have that. And this is dangerous because I got this magazine-sized book now. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see if this means that leads me to other things. And then, of course, I saw this one too. This was $8. Bizarre Adventures is issue number 23, I think. Yeah, 23. And I just saw all the heavy hitters down at the bottom, and that's what really got my attention. We have John Buscema, Gene Colan, Frank Miller, all people who I've just mentioned from referring to other stuff prior. Yeah, it's just, the list is epic. So, and I know a lot of these were magazine-wise, had a lot of, big artists and writers and editors and things like that. So I'll have to flip through that and check it out. For $8, I was like, sure, let's do it. If I was already getting this one. So, like I said, dangerous rabbit hole. I'll probably continue to go down, but I think it's worth it. Makes me happy. It's all that matters, right? So anyways, these are stuff that I picked up from Zapp last week. Like I said before, shout out to them. If you guys have never shopped over at Zapp, if you're in the New Jersey area, I highly recommend it because their prices are amazing, their customer service is amazing, and they have a huge selection always. And on top of that, they're having a Comic-Con, their own, they call ZappCon. I think it's ZappCon number 5 coming out in September here. So if you're in the area and you're looking for a Comic-Con, then keep an eye out for that one as well. Again, I put their information in the description below, so check them out on Instagram as well. Other than that, let me know how you think I did. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know if you have any of these books already, or if you're looking to collect any of these yourself, or if you've read any of these before. I'm curious to know. And of course, take a moment, smash that like button on the way out. And until next time, I will talk to you later.